Hello, everyone. Going to demonstrate scaling out an AWS instantiated cluster in Platform9's management console. So we have a cluster here with one master node, 3 workers. These are the worker nodes are in a default auto scaling group. There is an additional auto scaling group specific for spot instances to save costs. And I'll be demonstrating scaling out that specific auto scaling group. We have a concept of application catalog that from which you can deploy any number of Helm charts from the community, and you can add additional repositories to integrate into your cluster. So I have gone ahead and added this spot repository for that's going to demonstrate this capability. And I've already deployed the application, so I'm just going to go ahead and edit it. It's in the spot namespace, so I'll go ahead and edit this and keep it at the same version. In fact, that's the only version I have right now, 020, but I'm going to scale this out from the scale size from 0, which is the default for the spot auto scaling group, to 2, and go ahead and deploy that. Give that a moment to work and install the Helm chart into the cluster. And while it's going, the next thing we'll do is take a look at the workload. So this Helm chart is going to submit a Kubernetes job type specifically, and that's going to create a pod that will run to completion, and the code in that's going to execute is going to scale out that spot ASG for the cluster. So if we go to workloads and look at the spot namespace, we'll be able to see that it has deployed the job, and then henceforth the pod. So there it is, it's succeeded. And so here in a moment, we will be able to see our cluster, this cluster right here, scale up from the 1 master and the 3 workers to 5 workers, 2 of which are spot instances. So a good way to do that is to go over here to the node health, and we'll be able to see those nodes check in here in a moment. I'm just going to pause recording and give Amazon EC2 an instant, a little bit, to spin up those nodes. Okay, as you can see, 2 additional nodes have joined. They're not yet ready. They are probably converging at the moment. A good way to take a look at that is through the node health page, and we can see them go through the various steps that are necessary. Let's see here. Here's another good view. Here you can tell they're converging. So again, we'll just give those 2 nodes a few moments to finish wrapping up, joining into the cluster. And one of those nodes has joined completely. The other one should be right behind it. Yeah, in fact, here we go. All of them are reporting ready. So now we have the original master, the 3 workers, and the 2 additional spot instances. And that, as a reminder, that was done through the Helm chart that we created for demonstration purposes to scale out the spot ASG for your cluster. And this is something that the solutions engineering team at Platform9 put together. So let's just go ahead real quick and demonstrate scaling that back down. So we'll go ahead and I'll edit that same Helm chart deployment and turn this back down to scale size back down to 0 and redeploy that. Give that a moment, and this will again create the same job. Each job is a uniquely named job name, and it'll spin up a container to run a real quick workload to scale that spot ASG. And we can look at that pod status for the job in the spot namespace, and we can see that it's pending. So it's getting scheduled. Okay, it just takes a few seconds to run. It's completed. So here in a moment, we'll see the inverse of our scale up, and we'll see these two nodes drop out of the cluster, and we'll be back down to the original 4 nodes. So just give that a moment for EC2 to remove those instances from the ASG. All right, a few moments later, and you can see that those 2 nodes are no longer reporting ready. So they will eventually drop out here, probably just another minute or so. And you can see down to the last one, it's just reported that the node is disconnected. So there we go. Okay, back down to the original 4 nodes, 1 master, 3 workers in the non-spot ASG. All of the spot instances in that specific ASG are out. And so just as a reminder, that was done through a Helm chart for scaling out spot instances in your AWS cluster. Thank you.